Number 4 is going to be to install a rooftop rack. This is partly to hold our spare tire, but it also allows us to attach any elements that we want to as we upgrade our system. Okay, pack her away for another season. You see those brackets on there? That's how they hook on. Those come with the Rooftop Carrier. Pretty easy. So that took about half an hour. We're back in winter mode, all stripped back down, streamlined, ready to go. Well, it's time to take a look at the roof rack. Now you may notice that this has got a covering inside, and I will show you a video on that. But yours won't come like that. But we just need the basic one to start out with. And one thing to notice is that they have a bracket that covers over this that we will use to mount things on. Our one issue was that although here the bars are spaced right for the standard element roof rack, when we get back here, the bar comes right in the middle. So we have to make a little modification, and I'll show you what that is. So these are the parts that come with the roof carrier to attach to the roof rack on the element. It simply is kind of a clamp that clamps onto the roof rail, and then this bolts down, and there are these fancy nuts that come with it. You may have noticed this for somewhere else. I used it for my seatbelt clamp. I found that these were too big. They stuck up above, so I replaced them with some nice little acorn nuts, stainless steel. The other thing that I added on was a piece of rubber underneath, just so that it stays on the roof rack a bit better and doesn't vibrate. So that's fine for the front one, but like I was saying, the back one doesn't fit, so we have to modify it. So if you look here, you can see that I've actually notched the rail. At the front, the rails are on either side like this. At the back, it comes in the middle. So what we need to do is cut that away. So here's the original one. And all I did, you can just take the jigsaw, cut that down. I've put a little piece of rubber in here, just again to keep it from vibrating. But that's a very simple fix, and then just carry on with the same hardware and clamp it down. So that solves that problem. Well, our next issue is attaching the spare tire to the roof, and I hope you saved this part. This is the part we cut out. So we're going to use this because that's the bolt hole, so there's a nut in there. And what we need to do is just cut this and see if we can bend it into some kind of shape that we can fit onto the roof carrier. Just clamp it down. Now that we have our bracket, we need some way to attach it down. And these are 1/4 inch by 2 inch eye bolts. And this bolt hooks underneath, and we do that up to tighten it down. Well, my first version for the holder for the spare tire ended up being a little too labor intensive. So true to the rules of this, I'm going to make it as easy as possible. So I've come up with another version of how we're going to use the bracket. So what I'd like to do is notch this around here, take the corner out so that we can have just a small tab here. Once we've got that flattened out with the our little tongues on each side, we just need some kind of piece of flat material to hold it. And I found this angle bracket that fits pretty perfect. So we're just going to cut that so that we'll have it underneath, bolted so it'll squeeze it between the pipes. Here's what we need for this method. We have to reclaim the top of the bracket for the spare tire, make these little flanges on each end. Then I cut an angle bracket, leaving a little bit left here on the side, so that this plate will fit right over top of that. And then we're just going to bolt it together with some 1-inch carriage bolts. So those will go through there. And that is our super easy version 2. Let's just put it on there, see what it looks like. We're just clamping it on there. I think that's the way to go. Well, it does end up that the bolt is too short. So we're going to just put an extension on it. And we're going to do that by cutting the bolt off and putting this in the middle. So I'm going to cut this off at about 1.5 inches. And then I'll put this in between to extend it. Now, this isn't the same thread, which is a good thing because this is going to lock on here. So what we need to do is put our vice grips on here, get our adjustable, and let's just tighten that down as much as we can. Okay, so that is our extension now. So I'm going through one of the lug nut holes there. That's how we are going to mount that spare tire on the roof rack. That was number 4. I got one more to go there. Thanks for coming by, and we'll see you again for sure. So bye for now.